Okay, I am in the car driving home from Florida. We've got 14 hours ahead of us. We got in the car at about 3:30 this morning. I call it dark 30. And it's about 8 o'clock. About time for me to come to you. And I've prayed the rosary and I sat in good meditation, and I'm learning so much about the mind and the body in terms of science, about the connection, and how emotions really do impact our health, our emotions and our thoughts, and how much we can actually manage and reprogram our brain to think new thoughts, connect them to new emotions, and therefore making us healthier, reversing the disease and increasing healthy genes and all this stuff in our bodies. It is so amazing. Of course, God put this in my head to talk about today in the gospel. And we've got to think about this in a couple of different ways. Number one, our thoughts and our emotions impact our own health, but our thoughts and emotions also impact our salvation in what we do, how we think, because we have programmed ourselves to be connected to these emotions based on how we've reacted to them. And all we have to do is reprogram. Disconnect the circuits and reconnect new circuits. It sounds so simple, and it really kind of is. And we'll talk about that after I read the gospel. For those of you who have not read it yet today, Mark 7:14 through 23. Jesus summoned the crowd again and said to them, "Hear me, all of you, and understand. Nothing that enters one from the outside can defile that person, but the things that come out from within are what defile." When he got home and away from the crowd, his disciples questioned him about the parable. He said to them, "Are even you likewise without understanding? Do you not realize that everything that goes into a person from the outside cannot defile, since it enters not the heart, but the stomach, and passes out into the latrine? Thus he declared all foods clean. But what comes out of the man, that is what defiles him." Okay, listen up, people. From within the man, from his heart, come evil thoughts, unchastity, theft, murder, adultery, greed, malice, deceit, licentiousness, envy, blasphemy, arrogance, folly. All these evils come from within, and they defile. Okay. So, when St. Paul says that we should capture every thought and give it to Jesus, basically, I know that's not exactly what the Bible verse says, but that's the intent. We should not allow our thoughts to run rampant. We should not allow ourselves to go down this angry path, this resentful path, and anything that is of all of those words that I just described that defile us. Go back, read the gospel, and think about how often do you think those thoughts? And how often are you projecting those things on other people? Maybe you're pretty judgmental about yourself, and then that's all you do is judge other people. And maybe you're thinking things that are not pure, so we have to capture those thoughts immediately. And as you know, you could have those thoughts come from nowhere. That could be Satan attacking you, especially if you're trying to work on something. Maybe it's forgiving someone. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, you'll think about that person and all of the emotions and the feelings that attach to it. So the brain is the language of thoughts, and the body is the language of feelings. So when we have a thought and it triggers an emotion or a feeling, our body reacts. It's either going to be in a state of calmness and peace, or it's going to be in a state of stress, and cortisol will increase. Your body will shut down. Your genes of disease and autoimmune issues are going to increase, and your healthy genes are going to decrease. And it's all because we've programmed ourselves with these emotions and these thoughts. So we have the fighting capacity to just deliver the spirits. Let's say you're driving along and out of the blue, something in your past flips in your mind and you don't know where that thought came from. Well, I can guarantee you it was probably Satan and his minions trying to drag you into an unstable emotional state, which does things to our bodies. So yes, we have all those different, I'm going to go back because I'm forgetting them, but we have all these different things that we can think that come from our heart. Unchastity, theft, murder, adultery, greed, malice, deceit, licentiousness, envy, blasphemy, arrogance, folly. I mean, we have a lot of these. Sometimes you're greedy. Sometimes you have unchaste thoughts. Sometimes maybe you've even thought about murder. Some people wish people dead. You've got adultery, deceit, envy, arrogance, blaspheming against God. So many things, so many thoughts and emotions that come with them. So, how do you do it? How do you manage it? Well, first you cast it out. If it's coming out of the blue, you know it's not you. But you also have to then get yourself out of that emotion. You need to practice mental prayer, meditation. Don't think it's New Age stuff, because it's not. You've got to calm your mind. You've got to pull that emotion out and reconnect it to joy, to happiness. So you can think about that person with compassion. You can think that that person might need some love. That yes, maybe they hurt you, maybe they betrayed you, and you can't necessarily disconnect the feelings, but you can calm yourself down and put peace in your heart. That's what meditation is. And a lot of people can't do meditation because they can't calm down. And so that's where your body starts ruling your mind. That's when you actually, because of your habits and your patterns and the way that you've allowed yourself to be a prisoner to this emotion, you cannot disconnect yourself from it because you've lived it. You know it. It's comfortable for you. But if you sit in meditation and you can't stop moving, or you're uncomfortable in the peace, that's because you never do it. Your body is saying to you, wait a minute, it's about 9 o'clock this morning. Why are we sitting here with our eyes closed in peace? We should be on email judging everyone, or on social media criticizing everything, or, worrying about our own insecurities on social media, whatever it is that we normally just unconsciously do every day. And so the point is, pay attention. How many times do I say purpose and meaning? Paying attention to what's going on. Your purpose is always to control your bodily urges. This is the walk, right? This is the holy walk. This is why you don't, just allow your body to rule your actions. That's how we get in trouble. So, when you have those thoughts that come to you that are not holy, that are changing your state of being from peaceful and calm and joyful and happy to angry and resentful or disgusted and sad, I don't know what the emotions are. You've got to stop and change them. And you can do this. You have the power to do this with God. You have the Holy Spirit. You've got this capability. You just need to practice it. The more you practice, the easier it gets. And I'm going to be honest with you. I was doing deep mental meditation for a long time. And I haven't. And you all know, my prayer life has changed. My husband retired, and I haven't been an hour and a half or 2 hours in prayer. I just haven't. And I think that's what I need to get back into. So that means that I've got to make a choice. I've got to get up earlier and make myself a priority so that I can heal myself by letting these emotional grips that come into my life through outside circumstances, or even in my own mind, my own thoughts, and just start managing them, disconnecting the old program, reconnecting a new program like a computer, just re-putting in a software. And as you do this, you will notice, okay, wait, I feel very angry and I feel like this is not a good feeling. A lot of people think that they're happy, but they are actually not, because they don't even realize what happiness is and what true joy could be. So a lot of people are comfortable in their suffering, comfortable in the way that they are. Maybe they complain all the time, or, that's just personality traits, and it's things that have happened to them, but they still have a victim mentality that I'm this way because I was traumatized as a kid, or because of my boss, or my spouse, or my brothers and sisters, or my coach. I mean, we always look to outside forces that make us who we are. And they do, but they don't make our future. We have to disconnect those circuits from our past and reconnect new positive ways of thinking. So if a thought comes up today, this is all I want you to do today. Just pay stinking attention to what is going on. And the minute you feel yourself, your blood starting to boil, your, inside starting to turn, maybe you start feeling sick when you think about that person who betrayed you, a spouse that cheated on you or something like that, then say, Lord, I'm giving this emotion to you because it's killing me. Because it is killing you, by the way. You are doing nothing for your body to hold on to that resentment. You've heard it before, that when you're trying to hurt someone else, or you're not forgiving someone else, it's like you want to give them a vial of poison, but instead you're drinking it. And you're killing yourself slowly but surely. I know this because I've got it in my own body. I've got autoimmune issues. I've got vitiligo on my hands, those little white spots that Michael Jackson had on his right hand. And, I know that I am tearing my insides out with some of these emotions that I hold on to. And I know that mental prayer and starting out my day rooted in how I want to visualize myself to be makes such a difference. So there God is again, speaking to me clearly, but yet also telling me that this other stuff that I'm learning, which is scientific, it's truly how the brain and the body works. It's not new age. It's not weird stuff. It's biological. And it connects so much to the journey with God and our humility and our walk with Him. It's just amazing. So that's all I want you to do today. Pay attention. When it happens, stop. And I want you to look back on your day too. So don't blow by the day and then don't look at it. Pay attention throughout today and make sure at the end of the day you go back and you say, wow, I really let my emotions go wild with my coworker who drives me crazy and who is so lazy and who I do all the work for. Then the next day you can work on it. It's definitely trial and error. It's not always perfect. That's not the point. And you can't meditate wrong. The only way you meditate wrong is if you don't do it. So many people sit in meditation and they're like, I cannot do this. My whole body is telling me to do 17 other things than this. And that's where you can actually say, no, body, you sit and you just calm it down, sit in that place, put yourself in front of God, and fight through it. And your body will become tame. It's like a dog. You got to train it, otherwise it's just going to do whatever it wants to do. And it's going to know that, hey, I normally get up and I run around the house and I chew on the legs of this table. But if you're going to train it, you need to reestablish new habits and new ways in which you exist and new experiences. It sounds very high level, kind of like not practical, but it is when you actually are paying attention. And I'll do a video on this, I think, maybe on YouTube. I haven't come on YouTube for a while. I'm going to try and do one in the car. I'm got nothing but time. I hope it'll upload. But anyway, I'll get more detailed into this. But just pay attention. Stop the emotion. Calm yourself and switch it. And you can start thinking about people in a compassionate light, because you do things to irritate other people. You've done things that have hurt other people. You are not perfect. You need God's forgiveness. You need compassion from others, and you want to be love to other people. So we just got to let it go and and actively participate in changing that emotion and calming our body and allowing God to change our hearts. Alrighty, everyone. Sorry for the background noise. Thank you for being so flexible over the last few days with me whispering and everything. I hope all is good. Put a comment in the video or the YouTube or wherever you're watching this on social media and let me know what you think, because it can be done. You can manage your thoughts, and it's really freeing when you do. Okay, I love you all. Find something more with God, and have a blessed and inspired day. Hello, I'm Kendra Von Esch, and you are listening to my 10-minute daily podcast, Reality Reflections. I bought into what this world said would make me happy. Money, prestige, power. And hey, if it feels good, do it, because life is stressful, so party hard. Do whatever makes you happy. But that didn't quite work out, because I felt even more insecure, full of fear, shame, and anxiety, and never, ever good enough. Then God found me and flipped my reality upside down and transformed my life. And I want this for everyone. So I left my executive career to help others find true acceptance, supernatural peace, joy, and love that only comes from a relationship with God. Here is my reality reflection for today.